Our conference is live on YouTube channel. The link will be shared in the chat box. And the link you could share it on your social media channels. You can also share the live link on your friends, with your friends and family members. How are you, my smile?
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. What about you?
Nice to meet you all.
Yeah. And how are you, Wang?
Good, thank you.
So we will wait for 1 minute, 1 or 2 minutes. Let's wait for the other participants to join.
Hello, Professor. Can you
So
hear me?
yeah, you are audible. How are you feeling today?
It's great.
Nice. So I think, should I start? Just a minute. So once again, welcome to Eurasia Research International Conference. Please allow me a moment to introduce Eurasia Research to you in a nutshell. So, with over more than 1 million satisfied members and associates spread across the globe, Eurasia Research is a scholarly association who have been working for nearly a decade. Eurasia Research has organized several successful international conferences, workshops, and training programs at various reputed institutions and grand venues. Eurasia has been tirelessly working for research world and have not stopped there and even during difficult times and have presented research community with online platform which was safe and convenient method to continue their passion. So we are an international community of researchers, practitioners, students, and educationists who aim to bring together worldwide researchers and professionals, encourage intellectual development, and to create opportunities for networking and collaborations. So these objectives are achieved through academic networking, meetings, conferences, workshops, projects, research publication, academic awards, and scholarships. So some of our key highlights I'm sharing with you. We provide scholarships to deserving candidates to promote students and research scholars to participate in the international conference. Young Researcher Scholarship is provided in the form of a full registration fee waiver. We have vast experience of publishing papers for more than 7 years. Our associated journals publish original papers, review papers, conceptual framework, analytical and simulation models, case studies, empirical research, technical notes, and book reviews. We cater to more than 30 plus teams in the area of teaching and education and have registered ISSN and have following renowned indexing Google Scholar, Crosscheck, Authenticate, Crossref, the Keeper's Registry, Script, Portico, Raw Directory of Open Access Scholarly Resources, OAI PMH, Registered Data Provider, PKP indexed. We will soon be applying for Scopus too. We have a wide network of 100 plus internationally acclaimed keynotes across the globe who share their knowledge and guidance with our participants with open hands. We have a large number. We have a large number of committee members and advisors who support us and guide us through their expert opinions and decision-making capabilities. We couldn't have thought of reaching here without them. We also encourage our participants to connect with more than 15K followers on our social media platform where they can share their research and interest. Join our Facebook group and be a part of discussion by researchers and academicians. We also have several collaborations with universities, colleges, and institutes to better serve all interested and like minded intellectuals. So, with great enthusiasm and pride, we would like to request our participants to enjoy the benefits of our lifetime membership in just USD 60. We have over 10,000 plus members from across the globe. We would like to share some of, in just USD 60, you can participate, you can take these benefits. Thank you so much. So, allow me a moment, I'm sharing my screen. Just wait for a while. So, my screen is visible? Please let me know. Please let me know if my screen is visible.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So once again, welcome to Eurasia Research Online Live International Conference. So in this conference, Dr. Marizan, welcome, Dr. Noor Hasmini, Maha Ismail, Mega Dita Paradina, Alaini, and Chan, Fangsi Dai, Mariam, Jamila, Ashari, and Philomena, Roy Irawan, Mandy, Inan, and Eddie. Just yes. So welcome all of you. And today we have presentations and participants from 8 countries around the world. My name is Amneet Kaur and work with Eurasia Research. I will be hosting this online conference today. So we appreciate your time and participants. Here, TERA President Linem Shelley, she's PhD Higher Education Executive, retired adjunct professor, Boston College and Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, USA. So just let me show, just a minute. She has, wait, just, first of all, allow me a moment to introduce the video of TERA President. We just want to see what she has to share with us.
Retired. I am adjunct executive doctor of the college in Chestnut, Massachusetts, and at the University of England, near doctor. I did it practice great career here as an administrator. My research. And I called, we called, area, and culture. And research. Not just that, not only. Others. And my name is Dr. Salient, president of the Eurasia group, and I'm very happy to be here. I have been doing some research and writing about the leadership in this global environment, transformative leadership in the new global environment that we are living in, and hoping that this research will help current and future leaders at every level. Any type of organization. Very interesting because of the AI, the cultures and the miracles that are happening around the world are having fun. Transformative leadership and in a and then how to manage challenge for people who want to reduce your cyber infrastructure. Well, that is that I've always done work and research that I can use and apply to my administrative and consulting positions. Right now, I am an executive leadership consultant. So the research that I'm doing really applies to my role at Terra, but also in work that I do with colleagues that are doing practice, and I can help them on the way to enhance their leadership. And I've been in education for graduate and professional education at Salient University, Massachusetts, United States. And prior to that, I was dean of professional leadership programs at Antioch College in Beverly, Massachusetts, United States. And my main travel was with Eurasia Terra as the president and keynote speakers. That I have done, I've also done other, but once I became president, I felt like I needed to really give my the organization to Eurasia Terra and to be able to impact around the world. Most recently, I sat on a dissertation committee at a vice president from University of Russia. And she was, her dissertation was focused on changing culture to adapt to the global world. And Olga did a fantastic job. And of course, when I have those kind of opportunities, I talk about this wonderful woman so that we get and then the next what is right like the and what advice for you like The advice is multifaceted. I think that there are several things that they have to keep at the forefront of their minds. That research that they do should always be something that can impact their work, their organization, and or the world. So it has to be current. So to that point, they have to be proactive in maybe focusing on research and knowing what's happening in the world all the time in their certain professions. They have to add, they have to value add to the profession. So that would be very important. They have to have an open mind that their research, especially if it's quantitative, might not necessarily bear out the results that they do. And that's okay, because that shows what really is impacting their work and their organizations. And the third thing that have their like for research that crossovers to professions, that they network and become familiar and have standing meetings with other researchers, because that can be so rich and can help us so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving the advice. It is very helpful for that.
So before moving ahead, I just want to give you a brief introduction about Eurasia Research. I'm sharing a video with you.
Try to stand up, but you throw your hand up. No longer have strength to fight. You'll see many sunsets on many days in the darkest night. But on your own, you'll never know. You'll never know. That all you need is right, but it's almost like you lost your head. A few wrong turns, a few breaks, falling behind now at the forward. Cause you need someone to lift you up there, make right of the things you've done. Cause on your own, you'll never know, you'll never know.
So everyone, move ahead. Now here is eminent speaker Monia Benjelin, National School of Applied Science and Hassan University, Morocco. So I'm sharing her video and just let's see she has to share with us what she has to share with us. So let's.
So, my research is about the role of top-down and bottom-up strategies in students and language skills. So, two groups of students, a controlled and an experimental, belonging to the same year and developed to graduate study. Both groups were exposed to listening and hospital tests. Students in the experimental group were explicitly exposed to listening strategies for all stages of listening tasks. The study adopted a combination of both a quantitative and a qualitative approach using T-test to the study. So, preliminary needs for listening strategy has significantly affected how students need experimental to develop their listening functions, especially for specific information and language protection, which was more meaningful and effective than that of business. So that's yeah, obviously, I have encountered a number of challenges in my research journey, especially related to research and quantitative research. When you have a purposive sampling, it takes time to participants that satisfy the criteria for research. You may have a limited number of participants. You may not be available or whenever you need them, but you are likely to lose some may affect and eventually quantitative research, even if you may have to choose your participants randomly and you collect your data smoothly, you need to muster the research instruments for motivation behind any research in the field of education is to try and sort out learning and attitude-related issues on a regular basis. Of course, to make my teaching and students learning enjoyable and effective through doing lots of readings on those issues, attending conferences and workshops, and participating actively, of course, in the conferences and workshops to exchange practical ideas, momentum in the group context. In occasions, I have observed that students were struggling to understand English because, you know, although they spend time listening to the teacher, their fellow students, and the students, they are rarely exposed to listening strategies which can help them become more effective and efficient. So my motivation behind the study was to find out how much progress students make in their listening comprehension and language skills after managing the topic down. People choose the topic of research very carefully, which is, in my opinion, the first key to success in your research journey. It should be interesting to you as you will be spending a long time in research. A theoretical framework can support the topic of research and make your idea and findings have a sense from a scientific research perspective. Attending supervisors meetings can be very helpful for you to choose the right research methodology, which is another area that is worth exploring. In other words, after having chosen the topic, you need to choose the methodology that can help you carry out? Well, I believe wholeheartedly that the right research methodology can help you to move forward in your research. So you need to be clear whether you would like to adopt a qualitative approach. So you may need to have like focus groups or back interviews. If your research is quantitative, and you need to use questions, surveys, research analysis. You can also adopt a mix of use both quantitative and quantitative research instruments to make up for the limitations of each option. And last but not least, conduct a pilot study and ask for feedback from other researchers and your supervisors before you embark on the study. Yeah, well, was enriching. The coordinators of the conference were very helpful. And so, I mean, it was an opportunity for researchers to discuss and exchange ideas, experiences, and practices for learning and teaching. So, I mean, all the participants were willing to explain concepts and application of research tools in their study, which of course, I mean, inspired us to research.
Thank you, Monia. And that was really a thank you for sharing these wonderful words with us. So let's move ahead. Here we have a conference schedule, and session 1 we will discuss with keynote talk 6:45 to 7:30 a.m. and session 2 team activity photo session, and session 3 here is a technical talk 7:45 onwards. Please name your Zoom account with your full name in English, and this will help us to record your presence. You may ask your question related to the presentation in the chat section while the presentations are going on. All the certificates, receipts, and proceedings will be sent to the participants within a week on their mail IDs. The proceedings will include all the full papers and the abstract accepted for the conference. So, moving ahead with the publication process. The publication process starts once the registration process is complete. The author needs to send the papers, consent form, and reviewer details on the email ID. Here is our email ID that will be shared in the chat box. The abstracts and papers received will be first published in the conference book of proceedings online. Only the selected papers will be moved in our publication timeline. The review reports will be sent to the authors once the review process is over. And the final stage of publication starts after receiving the revised papers from the authors. Please note that the publication process takes around 15 to 20 days after the conference dates. If all the editorial guidance are followed in the given deadline. Alison B. Contreras from University of Bantingers, and she will be present a topic, Engineering Tomorrow's Sustainability Today, Living Laboratories for Learning, Leading, and Lasting Impact. So I request to Dr. Marison, please present. Are you here? I think Dr. Our second keynote is Dr. Noor Hasmini. Dr. Noor Hasmini from Associate Professor of Marketing at University of Malaysia, Kelantan, and she will be presenting a topic, the evolving role of brand relationship, quality, and brand hate in shaping SME brand sustainability. So Dr. Noor Hasmini, please.
Yes.
Yes. You can share your screen and you can present. Yes.
I actually give my video to Eurasia. Can you please play my video?
Okay, just allow me a moment.
All right. Then if any question, I will be asked or I will be trying to assist for any question after the presentation. But I hope my video can be shared. I think there is a problem in terms of network, isn't it?
Just a minute. I think there are some technical issue. Wait for a while. I'm just checking. Hmm? Yes, Dr. Nuhasmini, I'm sharing your video. Just wait for a while.
I didn't see it. Any of it. Are you sharing now? Assalamualaikum. And hi. I cannot see the video. I cannot see the video. Sorry, I can't see the video. I didn't know whether you can see or not because I can't see your video. Can you listen to my voice? Eurasia team, can you listen to my voice? Oh my gosh. Eurasia team. I can't see, I can't hear your voice. Assalamualaikum. And hi. I'm I and Eurasia Research. For scientific in shapes and in brand system. Before I proceed further, basically, I'm not push the different perspective brand and product is so for example McDonald's I'm from University of Atlanta, Malaysia. I was I like thanks
Allow me a moment.
I couldn't start it. Should I click at the resume button, is it? Okay. Okay, let me start it. Okay, once again, I try it. Okay. We try once again. No, it's not working. Can you please?
Yeah, hello.
Can you see the video?
Your voice. Yes, your voice is.
Can you see the video? Because I couldn't see it. I didn't know what's happened. I didn't know what's happened.
Dr. Noor Hasmani,
Yeah. Can you see the video?
your voice is not clear. Yeah.
Can you see the videos?
Yes, I can see your
No,
video,
because from here I cannot see.
but voice is not clear.
I couldn't see the video from here.
Yes, it's not visible.
I think you can share your computer desk and you can run it on
Just
online.
give us a moment. Mhm.
Okay, I stop now because you said that there is no voice, isn't it? From the video. The voice is not clear, is it?
Yes. Mhm.
Right. So
Yes.
how
You can try once again.
okay, I'll try.
Yes, please try.
I didn't know why. Yeah, from your side, I didn't know why it's happened. Okay. All right, I'll try it once again. Let me see how.
Yes, please start.
Okay. No, not yet. Okay, wait.
Mhm.
Hmm. You hear? Is it the voice
Yes,
okay?
your screen is visible. Please, yeah, voice is good. Please turn on your video. Yeah, voice is not clear, Noor Hasmani.
The voice, you
No,
mean?
video is not visible. Mhm.
What about like this? Does it appear now? Is it
No.
okay? Because I can see clearly here my video.
No, I'm not able to see your video. Okay, you can. Anyone and video, please let. I think we have some technical issue.
Okay,
See
so
videos?
okay. So how you want me to try again or what? Or you want to listen from other video first?
Yes, that's a good thing. We
Okay, try
should,
other video first.
yes.
Okay. Because from here I can hear clearly. I didn't know from your side there why my
Mhm.
video cannot be opened up and why it couldn't be the sound problem. I didn't know why. But from here I can listen and yeah, I
No,
can hear. But I didn't know from your line, your network there. Might be there is a problem there. Okay, try to put another video. Let me see.
yes. So, first, I just want to So I would request to our first presenter, uh, it's Mariam Jamila Ashari. She's from City of Bangi. Yes, a bibliometric analysis of green safety in health and sustainability performance, 2026 to 5. So I request to Mariam, are you hearing me? So Mariam is not there. I request to Maha Ismail, Department of Archaeology, Pasmani Peter Catholic University, Budapest. She will be present a topic field-based insights into vernacular olive oil production on the Syrian coast. So I request Maha Ismail to please present your presentation and you can share your screen as well. Maha Ismail, are you hearing me?
Yes, hello. I will try just for a minute.
No problem. You can share your screen. You can present your presentation. Please go ahead. Maha Ismail, are you available? Hello, Ismail, are you there? Are you
I
there?
am here and I'm trying to share it, but it's I can't share my screen. I don't know why.
Just wait for a while. Dr. Noor, please unshare your screen. Dr. Noor,
Okay.
please please unshare your screen.
Yeah, I'm not sharing anything.
Uh,
So Miss,
your
is it my session is over? Because you start with the presentation, I mean the papers now, isn't it?
you can
So, pardon? So my
we will upload your video. Yes. Hmm.
my question is it my session is over? Because now it start the parallel session, isn't it? You yeah, you introduced to for paper to be presented, individual paper to be presented, is it? So mine
Yes,
is over, is it?
mhm.
Yeah, because I'm not sharing anything now. I didn't know why. I have removed mine. Okay, let me pause here.
Yeah, there are some
Stop.
technical issues, but
Right. Okay,
thank
is
you
it
so
okay now?
much.
Okay, so mine is over,
Yeah,
right?
thank you,
No,
ma'am. Thank you.
yeah, mine is over. Okay, all right.
And no problem, we will
But
be.
but I still can't share mine.
My smile, just try again. You can share your screen.
Is it now shared? No, I did something else.
Yes.
It's can you see my screen now?
No, I'm not able to see in your screen.
Hmm. Okay, single.
Please try to share it again.
I am. I think it will work
Mhm.
now. Can you now see it?
Yes, yes, now it's visible.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, you can share
So,
it.
I can't see if I'm opening my video, but at least you can hear my voice. So good morning, everyone. I'm Ismail. I will try to present my part of my PhD research, trying to present how rural communities adopted. Sorry, are you still seeing my screen? Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, and is it just the PowerPoint?
Yeah, hello. You are visible. Your screen is visible.
And it's only the
Yes.
PowerPoint. I'm really sorry, I have to read it from somewhere, so just wait a minute. So, good morning, everyone. I'll present part of my PhD research focusing on how rural communities on the Syrian mountain coast adopted olive oil production technologies to local environmental and topographic conditions during the Roman and Byzantine periods. And it's based on a field documentation I conducted over many villages that later. I aim to show communities develop practical sustainable technology that challenge traditional centered narrative. I present comparative insight and reconstruction that I created have visualized these installation in context. Can you see next slide?
Okay. Thank you, my. So are you done?
No, I'm not. I'm sharing the next slide, but
Yeah, your slide is visible. You can speak.
okay, now the study is based on two fieldwork campaign I carried out in 2023 and 2024 across North Side Rural Village in the mountains hinterland of Jebla City. And I marked them here on the map on green marks. There are 7 villages on the northern side of Jebla City. That we found on them an olive presses, a complete olive presses that we could we will documented, and I will show you a tablet in the next slide. Now, my methodology combined visual documentation, spatial context analysis, and consultation of existing archaeological records, where they're available in the Director General of Archaeology in Syria, especially the Department of Jebla City. In some cases, I had to rely on oral testimonies from local residents, especially in the sites where presses had been recently damaged or in some cases they were completely destroyed. The olive presses I documented show distinct spatial and typological patterns. Most of them are curved directly into bedrock, positionals on slopes, near seasonal streams, or even among agricultural terraces. Now, technically, all of them share a basic configuration, a curved vat and a rotary milestone. However, details vary from one to another. For example, if we can look for the second one, Babda, and the last 3, Dwer Babda, Flisto, and Hrama Bet Yashut, we can see that they include dragon channels or show dragon channels, which indicate more refined systems and perhaps surplus-oriented production. Others, like the first one and the third one, Jbailia and Karnhaya villages presses, those two didn't. We couldn't find a clear dragon channels, which make us think that they are more likely a household scale. This table summarized the key technical features across the 7 sites that I could document. Most of them are well preserved. All of them has a basin or a vat, and only one rotary milestone, which make it less efficient than the one in the cities, but still adapted to the environment. As for diameters, we saw that all of them are between 80 and 100 centimeters, which make them smaller than the one in the dead cities. We will talk about the dead cities later. In this slide, there are selected images from the fieldwork campaign, show a sample of stone curved olive presses documented in different villages. As you can see, most of them are directly integrated into the natural bedrock and landscape with minimal later intervention. The preservation varies from one to another. I could use a pen. If you can see, this one is, oh my God, not this one. Well, I will just put this one here is Karnhaya village press, which is fragmentary and partially destroyed, but still it's considered well preserved to be documented, while others like the one in Jubayliya here and the one in Babda were remarkably well preserved, excellent preserved, that we could find everything around them, and the rotary stone is fully complete as well. Now, for better understanding the technological character of the coastal presses, I compared them with the more elaborate installation that we found in the inland side, like these cities, especially of Sergila city. As you can see on the left side, which is the Sergila city olive oil chamber, there is a it's on the left side. There's a urban or estate level presses, often featured BAM and weight or more efficient mechanism built into architecture enclosure. On this side, you can see the on the red. There's no. Sorry.
No problem. You can take your time. Yes.
Can you still see the discard? Okay, I'm sorry. It's over here. Again, yeah, I came back. So you can see here the following the arrow I made, there is a rotary stone as well, carved into a bedrock in Sergia city. This vat is larger than the one we found in Kansas City, and it's more than 100 centimeter, 120 centimeter in general, and it has two next to it two rotary milestone, which make the mechanism or the technique of making the olive oil in Sergila city more efficient, and it means like it's speed up the operation in general. Also, there were a big dragon or long dragon channels that lead to the small basins. I made a green arrow to them. Those small basins will preserve the olive oil flow, and it's there three because they are they work on it to pure the olive oil from everything inside it, and then it will go to the big basin, which is over here. This big basin, they preserve.
My Ismail, please reshare your screen.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Specific is it from my side? Okay.
No, there are some technical issues. Don't worry.
No worries, I could see that. So I was on the large basin where they were preserved the olive, the last olive oil that they purize it until they send it for industrial issues or even for trading. While on the other hand, in the mountain or in the coastal city on the right hand, the peaks I take based on my field survey on Jabla were presses functional, of course. Typically, they're using a rotary milestone, only one, and a curved basin, like the one in Sergila, with no formal substructure. There's no large sample like the one in Sergila. There's only the VAT and the rotary milestone. Well, this construct reflects not just technological differences, but distinct production strategies as well. In the mountains or in the side mountains, the goal was efficiency, of course, resilience, and adaptation to the terrain. rather than industrial syrup like the one in surgery. Yeah. The absence of formal building or mechanism doesn't indicate backwardness, but rather a different sustainable
Once again.
approach. Again, it's gone. For me, it should. Okay, I will stop sharing and come back again. Is it now working? Stop sharing. Can you see it again?
Yes.
Okay, great. Then I will just go to the next slide. In this slide, you can see the 3D reconstruction that I made to more visualize the process based on measurements and field observation. What you can see here is a simplified two-stage process. The first one, the olives were pressed using a rotating stone pulled entire by human power, or in some cases they could use an animal. Usually it's an ox, and this initial state will produce a coarse paste. On the second stage, on the other picture, the paste were compacted into basin. They make dragging channel around the basin or the wood on the ground, which it's better in this 3D reconstruction. You can find the rock in the middle on the ground. They make a dragging channel around it. So the olive oil flow will go directly to the corner, and they will put a pottery there or a vat to take the olive oil that's coming from the process and simply they just put a rock around it and make a pressure or just minimal pressure using stone weights. These models reflect typical designs observed at sites where the rotating stone and the basin were still preserved in their original locations. To conclude, in brief, the olive oil presses in Syrian coastal hinterland reveal much more than agricultural infrastructure. They reflect a landscape-driven logic of adaptation, simple but still efficient design embedded in local stones, shaped by terrain, and operated with limited resources. There were no marginal or primitive technologies. Rather than that, they were resilience, evolving through generational knowledge and integrated deeply into the social and seasonal rhythm of the mountain life. The construct with inland nominal presses reminds us that the rural agency exists in many forms as well, not only through the size or complexity, but it's also through long-term functionality and sustainability. My field documentation and reconstruction aim to preserve the memory and recenter the role of the countryside in Mediterranean production system during the late antiquity. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. That was everything. Thank you for your attention, and don't hesitate to ask me any question. I'll be happy to answer your questions.
Thank you. Wonderful job. Your explanation was clear and easy to understand. Thank you so much, Ma Ismail.
Thank you so much.
Yes, dear
I saw
participants,
my
if you have any
Instagram.
question, and no problem. Yes, dear participants, if you have any questions, you can type them in the chat box. So I think we will now continue with the next presenter. Philomena Maria Goodgreen, from Faculty of Science, University of Split, Croatia. A topic is challenges of contemporary education in nuclear physics from global insights to the Croatian context. So, dear Philomena, please, are you here?
Hi, do you see me or see my screen?
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Yes, your screen is visible.
yes. Okay. Good morning,
you can
everyone,
start.
and thank you for the opportunity to present this work. The author of this work are Mirko Marušić and Filomena Maria Grgorin. Nuclear physics is widely recognized as one of the most abstract and conceptual demanding area of physics education. According different educational levels, students develop strong misconception about nuclear phenomena, which often persist even after formal instructions. Global context. Research is conducted in countries such as the United Kingdom, Turkey, Spain, and Singapore shows strictly similarities in types of misconceptions students hold. In contrast, systematic research on nuclear physics education in Croatia is not exist. Arm of these studies is analyze international research on nuclear physics education in order to identify common mistakes and research gaps. This analysis serves as theoretically based from initial future research in Croatian context. This studies is based on systematically literature review, scientific database such as World Wide Web, Scopus, ERIC, and Google Scholar were used to identify some publication. Only studies that focus on nuclear physics and the secondary or university level were included. The studies had to investigate students' misconceptions or teaching strategy be published in a peer-review journal or available in English or Croatian. Data analysis are total 80 relevant papers, and in this work, 6 were analyzed in detail for this work. The most frequent misconception includes half-life as a priority of individual items, confused between radioactive and radiation material, and students also struggle with a concept of building energy and nuclear stability. This misconception appears consistently according education levels. This precise struggle that traditional introduction often fails to propose deep conceptual understanding of nuclear phenomena. Teachers plays a crucial role in addressing misconceptions. Continuous professional development is further essential. Studies from European countries such as United Kingdom, Spain, and Turkey show similar misconception patterns, but different introduction response. Some systems placed greater emphasis on conceptual diagnostic and active learning, which appear to be effective than traditional learning-based approach. Researchers from Singapore and Ecuador highlight the influence of culture context and the risk perception on students' understanding of radioactivity and radiation. These findings underline that misconceptions are not pure cognitive, but are also shaped by social and culture factors. Based on these findings, a pilot diagnostic studies in a propose for Croatia plan includes developing and testing diagnostic instrument with sample of 50 to 100 underground students, and the first step towards systematic research in nuclear physics education. The reviewed lectures literature shows that misconceptions in nuclear physics are universal. Simply proved correct information is not suffer, and their misconceptions are often resigned to change and strongly influenced by priority, knowledge, and context. Effective instruction requires active student engagement. Such strategies such as explicit confirmation of misconception, metacognitive reflection, and the use of multiple representation have been shown to support conceptual change more effectively than traditional instructions. Technology allows don't solve learning difficulties. Simulation must be integrated into concept focused learning activities. Local research is essential because curriculum teaching education and the cultural perspective of nuclear technology difference between countries. This work proves a comprehensive review of international research on misconception in nuclear physics, identifies significant research gap in Croatia, and there is some implication for teachers, policymakers, and researchers. Limitation of these studies are exclusive relies on executive literature, and it's focusing on students' misconception. Future work should be include studies in Croatia, starting with diagnostic test. This is a literature, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much. That was an excellent and well-organized presentation. Thank you for sharing your ideas.
Thank you.
So let's move ahead. Our next presenter is Megha Ditta Pradina. She's from, thank you. Thanks a lot. So Megha Ditta Pradina from School of Business and Management, Bandung Institute of Technology, Indonesia. Will be presenting a topic, performance evaluation of West Java MSMES using the balanced scorecard approach. So Megha, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you for.
Yes, all screen is yours. You can share your presentation.
So sorry, I'm not preparing my PPT, but maybe it can be seen from my paper. Okay, so the first thing I analyze is about performance evaluations of MSME in West Java, Indonesia. From the empirical study, we can know that approximately of MSME in Indonesia is about 99% in business entity, and that have a important economic national development in Indonesia. And also West Java has the largest number of MSME in Indonesia, with estimated in 1.49 million units, with equivalent of 17.50%. Then, for the administrative data from the West Java Office Cooperative and Small Enterprise, indicate that 64% of MSME is under the micro enterprise category. It's classified based on asset, size, and workforce, with defined based on Law Number 20 of 2028. And this classification is for regulatory and administrative purpose. Doesn't adequately reflect the variation in business capability, competitiveness, or potential for growth. And for the empirical evidence, the challenge is the size-based classification is cannot be seen as the assessing for upgrading reasons. So the micro enterprise with comparable asset structure may be exhibit divergent upgrading trajectories depending on managerial effectiveness, financial literacy, and operational capabilities. And in the other hand, internal capability such as innovation, capacity, human capital quality, and digital adoption is silent determinant of micro, small, medium enterprise development than asset magnitude. Okay, then the address gap is the multidimensional performance measurement framework is required. So the balance scorecard is compared within financial, customer, internal process, and learning growth perspective over integrated approach for capturing organizational competitiveness and adaptive capabilities. This theory is from Kaplan and Norton in 96. Okay, then the balance scorecard enables a more comprehensive assessment of micro, small, medium performance and provides strategic insight into their readiness to upgrade. So the research question, it will be how to assess micro, small, medium performance in West Java using the four perspective of the balance scorecard, and how to identify key strengths and weakness of micro, small, medium enterprise based on balance scorecard indicator. And the last is how to provide a more comprehensive performance assessment compared to classification based solely on asset and number of employees. So the limitation of this research is about in West Java MSME, the scope is limited because the object of this data is from MSME registered in database from West Java governance. And the limitation is only on the balance scorecard perspective in financial and financial, internal perspective growth, and all the four perspectives from balanced scorecard. Before we go to the data analysis, I want to declare about literature review. The first is micro, small, medium enterprise. So in Indonesia, micro, small, medium enterprise is defined based on the law number 20 in 2020X, based two main variables is that net asset and annual turnover. Micro enterprise are categorized as having maximum asset value of 50 million rupiah and turnover of up to 300 million rupiah per year. And small enterprise have asset within 50 million until 500 million with the turnover is 2.5 billion rupiah. While medium enterprise have asset of 300 million rupiah to 10 billion rupiah and turnover of up to 50 billion rupiah. So this approach is placed in within structural classification that focus on size only. However, various studies show that classification based on asset doesn't reflect micro, small, medium enterprise performance growth capacity. Changing in asset or turnover can shift micro, small, medium enterprise categories without demonstrating actual improvement and capability. In the OECD report, emphasized that micro, small, medium enterprise characteristics should be evaluated based on managerial capability, innovation, market orientation, and digitalization that are not included in regulatory classification. Therefore, the definition under law number 20 of 2028 is not relevant. And then what is MSME upscaling? So upscaling or upgrading MSME is process of increasing business capacity so they can achieve a higher level of productivity, competitiveness, and operational scale. Although law number 20 is classified MSME based on asset and turnover, per study emphasizes that business size doesn't represent the real ability to grow. So the final factor, organizational capability and the quality of internal process are important elements to upscaling. So that's why we need balanced scorecard to analyze the performance of micro, small, medium enterprise. And what is MSME performance? MSME performance is a multidimensional concept influenced by various internal and external factors. MSME performance is often hindered by various sectoral constraints such as weak of human resource management, limited access to financing, lack of market research, and absence of strategic planning. This obstacle negatively affect three main business performance indicators, that is product performance, innovation performance, and sales performance. So the finding that improving micro, small, medium enterprise performance requires to strengthen the internal capacity to improve the supporting business environment. So go to the performance evaluation using balanced scorecard. The balanced scorecard concept was first developed by Kaplan and Norton in 1996 as a performance measurement framework that addressed the limitation of traditional financial approach. Financial indicators only describe result or like indicator. So organization needs an approach that can capture the driver of future performance. So the analysis balance scorecard, we can see within the four main perspectives through a financial, customer, internal business process, and learning growth. So overall, the literature show that balanced scorecard is highly appropriate evaluation framework for MSME because it can capture financial and non-financial dimension in a balanced way can be used to assess business resilience for competition and upscaling. Eurasia Research also demonstrates that balanced scorecard is not merely a measurement tool but a strategic lens to understanding the micro, small, medium capabilities is a comprehensively and in multidimensional. To the research method, this study employs a qualitative descriptive approach. Primary aim to portray the performance of micro, small, medium enterprise in West Java based on available data without examining causal relationship. The qualitative descriptive approach emphasizes the systematic and comprehensive presentation of phenomenon without attempting to build or test complex causal model. The data collection conducted through document by reviewing and extracting information from official dataset provided by relevant institutions, consistent with research practice that rely on organizational document as primary data research. So here is the result and discussions. The Balance Scorecard is a performance measurement framework developed by Kaplan to evaluate organizational performance in a more comprehensive manner. In the context of micro, small, medium enterprise, the multidimensional nature of the balance scorecard is particularly relevant as size-based indicator often fail to reflect the actual business capacity of enterprise. Thus, the balance scorecard provides a more appropriate evaluative framework to assess the MSME resilience and growth potential through a holistic view of business performance. We begin with financial perspective. Within the balance scorecard framework, the financial perspective serves as the ultimate indicator reflecting the overall effectiveness of an organizational strategy. So in financial perspective, we have the data of revenue growth, and here's the result. We can see the micro, small, medium enterprise in West Java is in medium high range. Within range is 0% until 25%. The data is presenting about MSME in West Java. Revenue growth as the primary indicator representing the financial perspective of micro, small, medium enterprise. Selected because function a core metric of financial performance. So the findings is fast limited business dynamic during the observed period. And the next is asset turnover. Asset turnover or total asset turnover is activity ratio reflect the ability of firm to utilize its total asset effectively in generating revenue. Here's the data from MSME in West Java. The distribution of asset efficiency appears relative even across all performance levels. However, 52% of MSME demonstrate asset efficiency below the standard, falling within the low and medium-low categories. In the contrast, 25.2% of MSME is very high asset efficiency, with turnover exceeding 2.77 times the asset value. And go to the categories. Here's the data. We can see the much of variable is on medium high, within 30% until 50%. The distribution of MSME across capital structure levels show notable variation and suggest an overall balanced division between internal and external source of capital among MSME. Okay, go to the customer perspective. According to the Kaplan and Norton, the customer perspective is how an organization creates and delivers its customer value propositions. The empirical data used in this study includes several marketing-related indicators, such as offline marketing methods, online marketing methods, and sales distributions, export readings, export transaction value. This indicator directly reflects the extent to which micro, small, medium enterprise able to build and deliver value propositions. Overall, the MSME in West Java have not fully capitalized on the customer perspective within their business strategies. The limited market reach, low level of digital adaptation, and minimal engagement in export markets constitute key factors concerning financial performance and business growth. Next is internal and business process. Internal business process perspective from the balanced scorecard focus on how organizational internal process are designed and executed to create value for customer and support the achievement of financial performance. Based on the empirical data, several indicators emerge of employment insurance, business type, number of workers, and production capacity. The four indicators provide essential insight into how micro, small, medium enterprise can manage their internal process and daily gains in creating productivity or to pursue business expansion. The finding is West Java continues to operate with internal processes that are not fully formalized, efficient, or standardized. One of the most visible indicators is the low participation of micro, small, medium enterprise to use assurance labor. In Indonesia, is captured in BPJS Ketenagakerjaan. The majority of business owners does not register their workers under the social protection scheme. So this is indicate the operational process remain in informal condition. In terms of business type, most of micro, small, medium enterprise operate as home-based production unit. In the food and beverage, also in craft sector. The characteristic is simply internal process that undocumented, manual, and prone to variability. Also, the workforce size further reinforces this pattern. The majority of micro, small, medium enterprise employ only on 3 workers, indicating an extremely small organizational capacity. And another notable aspect is the low and unstable production capacity. Many micro, small, medium enterprise can only produce small quantities per month and have a fluctuated output level indicate that production process are not yet optimal. Go to the learning and growth perspective. This perspective ensures that organization process is necessary capabilities to enhance internal process, expand customer value, and ultimately improve financial performance. This is a play crucial and critical role in strengthening innovation capability and supporting new product development, also enable to continuous improvement. The learning growth perspective demonstrates the learning capacity, digitalization, innovation, and partnership networks among micro, small, medium enterprise in West Java in foundational states. This limitation constitutes a major factor inhibiting improvement in internal process, customer value, and ultimately in financial performance. So, based on the result, we have the conclusion. This study demonstrates the performance of micro, small, medium enterprise in West Java is analysis through balanced scorecard is developmental stage and requires strengthening across several fundamental dimensions. From the financial perspective, majority of micro, small, medium enterprise of West Java is low turnover and have limited access on financial that indicating underdeveloped financial capacity. Also, the customer perspective is focused on local market with digital adoption still suboptimal. And the internal business process perspective is operate as a micro-scale enterprise with incomplete business legality, low production capacity, and non-standardized works process. And learning and growth perspective is reveal on the long-term capability development through training, innovation, partnership, and digitalizations is below minimal, resulting in slow adaptation and limited improvement in organizational competencies. So, overall of the micro, small, medium enterprise in West Java cannot be assessed only on asset size or workforce count to define the classifications. So I think it's enough for me. Thank you. Hello?
Thank you so much. Thank you, Megadita, for your presentation. Yeah, hello. Thank you
Yeah,
so
thank
much,
you. Welcome.
Megadita. Am I audible? Dear participants, please let me know, am I audible? Great. So now let's proceed towards our team building activity. Sometimes we miss the opportunity of connection and linkage with fellow participants of the conference. So this team activity is to encourage interaction among all the participants. One by one, we will share the views and solutions on the topic of discussion. And also we will be conducting a photo session during the same. So first of all, I would request everyone, please turn on your camera. Please turn on your camera that we can take group photo. Request everyone, please turn on your camera. Thank you. I'm repeating again. Please turn on your camera. Thank you. My smell, please turn on your camera that we can take group photo.
I can't turn on my camera. I'm sorry, it's not working, but my mic is working.
No problem. It's okay. Just a minute. Thank you so much. So now the next thing is topic of discussion, how to increase your happiness. I will play this video and the video credit and copyrights goes to Avi Offer. So I'm just sharing my screen. Please let me know my screen is visible. I'm not able to hear voice. Just a minute.
Yes, it's not no
Yes,
voice.
yeah. Okay, I'm starting again. Wait. ऊपर से चलवाना चाहिए था इधर से नहीं हो हम्म
9 rupees won't even buy you a samosa. But what if I tell you 9 rupees can automate 95% of your work? What if I tell you 9 rupees can make you irreplaceable in the job market? And what if I tell you just I just feel
Now, my topic is gratefulness. What is the connection between happiness and grateful? People would say, well, that's very easy. When you are happy, you're grateful. But think again. Is it really the happy people that are grateful? We all know quite a number of people who have everything that it would take to be happy, and they are not happy because they want something else, or they want the same. And we all know people who have lots of misfortune, misfortune that we ourselves do not want to have. And they are deeply happy. They radiate happy. Now, we can ask, what really do we mean by grateful? And how does it work? Something's given to us that's valuable. And it's really given. These two things have to come together. It has to be something valuable and it's a real gift. And when these two things come together, then gratefulness spontaneously rises in my heart. Happiness spontaneously rises in my heart. That's how gratefulness happens. Now, the key to all this is that we cannot only experience this once in a while, we can be people who live gratefully. And how can we live gratefully? By experiencing and becoming aware that every moment is a given moment, as we say. It's a gift. You have no way of assuring that there will be another moment given to you. And yet, that's the most valuable thing that can ever be given to us. This moment with all the opportunity that it contains. Does that mean that we can be grateful for everything? Certainly not. We cannot be grateful for violence, for war, for oppression, for exploitation. On the personal level, we cannot be grateful for the loss of a friend, unfaithfulness, or bereavement. I didn't say we can every given moment. What the opportunity. And even when we are confronted with something that is terribly difficult, we can rise to this occasion and respond to the opportunity that is given to us. So how can each one of us find a method for living gratefully, not just once in a while being grateful, but a moment to be grateful? It's a very simple method. Stop, look, go. That's all. But how often do we stop? We rush through life. We don't stop. We miss the opportunity because we don't stop. We have to stop. We have to get inspired. And we have to build stop signs into our lives. And when you stop, then the next thing is to look. Look, open your eyes. What is that is given to? There's no end to it. That is what life is all about. Enjoy, enjoy what is given to us. And then we can also open our hearts for the opportunity. The opportunity is also to help others, to make others happy, because nothing makes us more happy than when all of us are happy. And when we open our hearts to the opportunities invite us to do something. And that is the third. Stop, look, and then go and really do something. And what we can do is whatever life offers to you in that present moment. There's a wave of gratefulness because people are becoming aware of how important it is and how this can change our world. Because if you're not fearful. If you're not fearful, you're not wild. Enough, another sense of scarcity, and you're willing to share. If you're grateful, you're enjoying the differences between people, and you're respectful to them. And that changes this power pyramid under which we live. What we need is a network of smaller groups who know one another, interact with one another. That is a grateful world.
Experiencing gratitude is closely tied to our ability to express generosity, trait at the heart of it means.
So everyone, anyone would like to have a discussion? Great. So now we should move ahead with our next participants, Roy Irawan Mandi from School of Business and Management, Bandung Institute of Technology, Indonesia. Topic is the role of digital learning in accelerating the digital transformation of SMEs in Indonesia. So I request Roy.
Yeah. Thank you so much, moderator.
I would request Roy, please share your presentation.
Okay. Can hear? Okay, thank you, everyone. Good morning. My name is Roy Irawan Mendi. I'm from Indonesia. I will present our study. The title is the role of digital learning in accelerating the digital transformation of Indonesia SME. This presentation focus how digital learning can strengthen SME capabilities and help the complete in an increasingly digital economy. Overview. We'll walk through 5 parts. Introduction, a brief conceptual foundation, and the literature, the methodology, using a systematic review approach, the key result and discussion, and finally the conclusion and recommendation. Introduction. Indonesia SME are the backbone of the economy and play a major role in growth and employment. However, many SME still face serious challenges in digital transformation. Common barriers include limited digital literacy, infrastructure gap, and financial constraints that make it difficult to invest tools, training, or digital platform. A visible symptom of this is the low adoption of digital marketing among SMEs. At the policy level, Indonesia has set ambitious direction to accelerate SME digitalization. But I just think that this target is not only about providing platform. It also requires building capabilities, especially practical skill and readiness to change. So the key gap is will still need a clear understanding of how digital learning can be designed and used to strengthen SME digital transformation, including resilience and competitiveness. The research focus or research question. This slide summary the core logic of the study. First, the main challenge is the digital literacy and digital marketing skill gap. Second, the policy context highlights a national push to accelerate SME digitalization. That leads to the research question: how can digital learning accelerate Indonesian SME digital transformation while also improving resilience and sustainability competitive advantage? So, conceptual framework. Here is the conceptual framework that guide the review. The idea is the digital learning. Through online course, mentoring, and community builds digital capabilities and readiness, not only technical skills, but also process readiness and mindset. Once SME becomes more ready, they can adopt technology more effectively and even innovate, such as using e-commerce tools, digital finance, or operation software. Over time, this information support resilience and help SME develop a more sustainable competitive advantage. So the methodology to answer the question, the study used systematic literature review organized with Prisma style selection process. We review review studies from Scopus from 2016 to 2045, and then use thematic synthesis to organize the evidence into key themes, both enabling factor and barriers. This Prisma method, this diagram show how the final evidence base was conducted. We began with identification from database. Remove no relevant item tag screening. Check it eligibility using full text and exclude paper that did not fit key criteria, such as language, open access, or article type. At the end, we obtain a finally set of 27 studies that were relevant for understanding digital learning and SME digital transformation, and these were synthesis into the result terms. Evidence-based 27 studies. The slide show the breadth evidence-based. The studies span multiple contexts, sector, and type of digital intervention, ranging from digital marketing training, organizational training, learning to readiness for advanced technologies. Rather than focusing on one case, the review extract cross study patterns to explain what digital learning change inside SME and why trust change matter for transformation outcomes. So the finding one, developing digital capabilities and readiness. The digital digital learning supports SME by developing skill in area like information management, digital communication, software use, and strategy integration of technology. The readiness pathway here is SME engaged in self-directed learning, but will knowledge competence, recognize the relative effectiveness of new tools, and ensure compatibility with their process. Practical example is targeted training program that strengthen marketing and communication skill, showing that tailored learning can directly improve readiness to adopt technology. Okay. The second, organization learning and knowledge acquisitions. Digital learning is not only individual upskilling. It also help SME becomes better learning organization. The cycle is simple but powerful. SME accurate knowledge, interpret experience, and apply what they learn to solve problems and adjust to market change. Community-based training, so workshop, mentoring, networking, and best practice sharing can accelerate this, especially for micro enterprise. This theme also highlight learning from failure, structured reflection, help SME have decision and develop and the dynamic capability to respond more effectively over time. The third, fostering organization learning and knowledge acquisition. Maybe the summary this point of the line digital learning strengthening SME when the becomes outline, creating continual learning, shared knowledge, and better adoption. With the foundation, we can now see how learning help SME handle content and compete. Oh no, it's okay. Result limitation and competitiveness. The third, when SME learn how to use e-commerce tools, they can improve customer interaction, access data more easily, and streamline distribution. However, adoption still face a barrier like knowledge gaps and even language limitation. Digital learning also support acceptance of digital finance, helping SME access financing more efficiently, especially when education is combined with professor support. Overall, the evidence suggests that learning reduce friction in adoption and help SME expand market reach and competitiveness. Next, the time focus on the barrier then prevent digital learning from working at scale. They cluster into 3 groups: a skill at awareness limitation, including low literacy and limited online sufficient training. And the second, infrastructure and resource constraint, such as with weak connectivity connectivity, and cost barrier for device and training. The third, mindset and culture of least, including resistance to change, reliance on old method and distrust of technology. So improving digital learning is not only a training design problem, it also requires understanding access, affordability, and mindset change together. So the effectiveness of structured digital learning programs. The example include digital marketing course and digital literacy initiatives supports by workshop, mentoring, and networking. Across studies, the boarding benefit are consistent. Digital learning can shorten the learning curve, improve productivity, speed up implementation of innovation, and strengthen the resilience. The key takeaway is that well-designed learning intervention are more likely to translate into performance improvement. Okay, this here is the finding connect into a single picture. Digital learning support dynamic capabilities. The ability to sense opportunities and third size opportunities quickly and figure resources as condition change. Those capability enable the digital transformation, so as implementing e-commerce or cloud tools. In short, learning is the machine that guides and enable SME to transform continuously, not just adopt one tools once. And conclusion, the digital learning play a critical role in accelerate Indonesian SME digital transformation by building capabilities, strengthening organizational learning, and support technology adoption. They improve resilience and competitiveness. However, persistent barrier remain, especially in literacy gaps and infrastructure constraints. So targeted intervention are needed. Key recommendation are invest in digital literacy, upgrade digital infrastructure, and encourage and digital first mindset in all involving policy markers, educator, and SME stakeholder. And then thank you for the invitation.
Hello. May I start my presentation now? Okay, thank you. Wait. I'm sorry, there are technical issues, so I cannot present my presentation, so I will just slide on Canva. Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Aliani Kalisazara Amelia, and I'm from Institut Teknologi Bandung, Indonesia. And today I want to present my research about how machine learning can help predict MSME performance. So I reviewed 35 studies from 2016 to 2025 to find out what works and what doesn't. Okay, so why does this topic matter? So MSMEs are everywhere. More than 90% of businesses globally are MSMEs, and they employ about half of all workers. So they are really important for the economy. But here is the problem. Small businesses have a hard time getting loans. Banks usually ask for financial statements and credit history, but most small businesses don't have those. That's where machine learning comes in. Machine learning can look at different types of data, not just financial reports, but also things like transaction history and also business relationships. And recent studies show it can be very accurate, that I found over 95% in some cases. And then next is we want to answer 3 questions in this study. First, which machine learning method works best? Second, what kind of data gives the best predictions? Is it traditional financial data or alternative data like transaction records? Third, where are the research gaps? Which countries need more attention? So we look at the 35 studies to find the answers. And then theoretical foundations. So our study is based on 3 theories. First, information asymmetry. Basically, banks don't have enough information about small businesses, so they are afraid to lend. So machine learning can help by finding useful signals from alternative data. Second, the resource-based theory. A business success isn't just about money. It is also about skills, knowledge, and also relationships. So machine learning can capture these intangible factors. Third, network theory. So who you do business with matters. Your suppliers and customers affect your credit worthiness. Machine learning using knowledge graphs can analyze these relationships. Okay, next, how did we do this study? So we searched the Scopus database for papers about MSME, performance, and also machine learning from 2015 to 2025. And we only included peer-reviewed journal articles that actually applied machine learning to real MSME data. And we excluded conference papers, studies about big companies, and purely theoretical papers. So as you can see in the flow diagram, we started with 144 papers, and after filtering, we ended up with 35 studies. Okay, so where do these studies come from? So China leads with about 29%. They did a lot of pioneering work on supply chain finance. And Europe is the second with 23%. Southeast Asia, including Indonesia, Vietnam, and Thailand, has about 9%. And interestingly, most studies, about 66%, were published just in the last 2 years. So this is a fast-growing field. But here is the surprising part. I call it the Indonesia paradox. Indonesia has about 64 million MSMEs, and that's 99% of all businesses. They contribute 61% of GDP, but in our review, only one study from Indonesia that is just about 2.9%. And the financing gap is huge, about 1,600 trillion rupiah, or about 100 billion US dollars that MSMEs need but cannot get. So this is a big opportunity for the research. And then next, the machine learning method frequency. Which machine learning methods do the researchers use most? So as we can see on the table, random forest is the most popular at about 23%, followed by XGBoost and neural networks. And here is the important finding, that is the best results don't come from any single method. They come from combining methods together. What we call is ensemble methods. And the pattern is clear across all studies, combining multiple algorithms bits using just one. So the lesson is don't pick one method, combine several methods. Okay, so here is the top performing studies, that the highest accuracy, that almost 98%, comes from Shen and Gao in China using a combination of TabNet and stacking methods. Biteto from Italy got 95% F1 score by adding market signals, basically information about how similar companies are doing. Mitra from India used knowledge graphs to analyze business relationships and got 92% accuracy. And also from Indonesia, Sadikin got 96% precision using transaction data from cashier point of sale systems. So Indonesia also having potential, but we just need more research. And the consistent finding is combination methods always win. And then next, the feature categories and validation. So what data is most useful for predictions? So traditional financial ratios like debt to asset and ROA are the baseline, but the real improvements come from the alternative data. Market signals, information from similar companies improve accuracy by 7.5%. Intellectual capital, skills and knowledge added 2.3%, and the network data analyzing who does business with whom achieved 92% accuracy. And the key insight is alternative data beats financial ratios alone. On validation, how researchers test their models, we found that actually the weakest part of most studies. The best example is Biteto, who did 13 different tests to make sure the results are reliable. And then next, the conceptual framework. So this framework summarizes what I found. On the left, you can see the inputs. You need diverse data, financial data, market signals, supply chain info, business networks, and in the middle, the methods. Combination methods beat single methods. The best ones achieve up to 98% accuracy. And on the right, what you are predicting: credit risk, default probability, business performance. And the main takeaway is use multiple data sources, combine multiple methods, and you will get better predictions. And the next is practical implication. What does this mean for practice? For banks and financial institutions, use combination methods like random forest and XGBoost, so they will work better. And don't just rely on financial statements. Use transaction data, business relationship data, or anything data that you can get. For regulators, AI models need to be explainable. You cannot just say the computer said no. You need to explain why. And this is becoming a requirement. For that data strategy, take advantage of e-commerce data, mobile payment data, point of sale data, and Indonesia also are having a lot of this from GoPay, for example, OVO, Tokopedia, and so on. And then for the Indonesia research opportunity, Indonesia has a huge opportunity here. 64 million MSMEs, 61% of GDP, but only one study in our review. So the financing gap is 1,600 trillion rupiah. And now we have growing digital infrastructure like Kasir, GoPay, OVO, Tokopedia, that is all generating useful data. So I suggest for research directions. First, use digital transaction data from POS system and e-commerce platform. Second, analyze community networks. Indonesia has unique structures, and these relationships can substitute for collateral. Third, evaluate government programs like KUR are using machine learning methods. Fourth, try transfer learning, take models that work in China or Europe and adapt them for Indonesia. And this needs collaboration between universities, fintech companies, and government. And next, the conclusion. So let me wrap up with 4 key findings. One, combination methods beat single methods that I found from the studies that can achieving over 97% accuracy. 2, alternative data significantly improves prediction, especially market signals and intellectual capital. 3, there is a big geographic gap. Indonesia is severely underrepresented despite having 64 million MSMEs. 4, validation is the main weakness in current research. So the bottom line is, as more MSME go digital, machine learning will determine who gets access to finance. And this matters for both research and economic development. Okay, so thank you for the presentation. Let me close the screen sharing. Thank you.
Thank you, Aliani. Thank you so much, Aliani. So now we are moving ahead. Our next presenter is Yinan, University, China. On online nurses delivering internet, home care services, and influencing factors across study. And share your presentation. Hello, Yinan. Are you here?
Yes, Professor, I'm here.
Thank you.
Can you see my screen? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Now your voice is clear.
Can you see my computer screen?
Yes, your screen is visible and your voice is clear.
Okay. Thank you for your introduction. Hello, I'm Wang Yinan from China. Today, my presentation is about the internet plus nursing in China. I'm sorry, please wait a moment.
Yeah, sure.
I need to. Start. My title is the current state of the job burnout among online nurses, delivering internet plus home care service and the influence factors. This is a cross-section study. I will introduce it in 4 parts. The first one is the research background. Everyone knows with the aging of the global population, there is a growing demand for the home-based care and the support service for elder individuals. Survey data from the World Health Organization indicate that by 2022, the shortage of the nurses research approximately 4.6 million. In China, since 2019, the National Health Commission has implement an internet plus nursing service mode that allow the patients to order home care service online via a mobile app. A nurse employed at the Tertiary General Hospital in China often performed comprehensive internet plus nursing service on part-time. Job burnout is a psychological surge result from the prolonged emotion that interpersonal stress in the workplace. Job burnout advancedly affect the physical and mental well-being of the nursing staff and is corrected with the care quality and the patient safety, significant contribution to nurse turnover. Nurses providing home care face numerous stress not only from their primary workplace responsibility, but also from the unique challenges related to their part-time roles. And the carving styles, also known as the carving mechanicals, reference to the cognitive and behavioral strategy individuals use when faced setbacks and pressure. And the positive carving styles can effectively limit the negative impact of the stress on mental health. Whereas negative computing study may increasing stress perception. Job burnout among nurse terms from not only their work environment but also their personal trials and the coping styles. They may employ the positive strategies such as seeking support or applying problem-solve plans, or resort to negative strategies such as avoidance or denial. My study's objective is to explore the relationship between their job burnout level and the coping styles in relation to work pressure, and to provide a structural bias for understanding the mental health of their nurse and the optimistic human resource management among the nursing in tertiary hospitals. The part 2 is design and method. I used a cross-section design. The data collected from the September to November 2024. Inclusion created first the professional qualification with the more than 5 years of experience or a nursing title. A clinical nursing at a tertiary hospital in university provides the home care service with the past months, a date to read and understand the questionnaire content. The exclusion rated is nurse not on duty, duty to study or vacation, poor professional conduct or complaint against the nurse. And the third is the participation in the similar study within the past year. And then I will use the several tools. First one is the social demographic character questionnaire. It have 15 items that contain the nurses section, age, years of the serving, department, marital state, education level, professional title, employment type, and monthly income, and income from the internet plus nursing service, order exception frequency per month, several duration, including travel times, distance traveling from home nursing service, whether there are the specialized nurses. The two toy is the SCSQ. It contains of the two subscales, positive coping strategy and the negative coping strategy. The higher scores indicate more frequent use of that coping strategy. And the third skills is NBS, the nursing burnout skills. It contains of the 5 dimensions: environmental stress, burnout, positive personality trait, coping strategies, burnout outcomes. The higher total score indicate more severe burnout levels. The cutoff is the 115.5 and 114.6 to 116.4 and more than 116.5 indicate several burnout. And with the static schematics is the original date from the online questionnaire were explored as Excel files and analyzed using the IBM SPSS 25-point software, and then used the number and the percentages to describe the nurse's practice of the nurse. The continued variables are expressed as the mean and the standard deviations. Then use the Pearson divider to correction analyze was used to explain the relationship between the nurses' stress coping studies and the job burnout. What else? Multi-headline regulation was used to identify the factors influence job burnout among nurses. The result a total of the 311 nurses participate in the surveys, and we the 287 while the response for an effective and 197 among them 284 of the respondents was female. In addition, 97 and 111 17 nurses were in internet, medical, and the surgery department respectively. Most participants was married. And there is 259. In terms of the education level, 275 of the response has a bachelor degree. In terms of the income from the online booking service over the past 3 months, 242 nurses report on less than 400 yuan monthly. Mostly nurses received fewer than 4 orders a month. The average salary duration was less than 120 minutes. The stress coping sales and the job burnout levels of the nurse providing internet breast nurse service in the tertiary hospital is. We can see positive coping scores. The mean is 22.03, standard 7.56. The negative is 9.56, and the steady is 5.01. The total burnout scores we get is the 122.29. 228.46, which indicate a relationship low level of the job burnout. And the results show that 133 nurses adopt positive COVID styles and 115 adopt negative coping styles. The score for we can see. And the table 3 is to show us the correlation analysis of the stress coping styles and the job burnout levels of the nurse in the tertiary hospital. The results indicate that online nurses employ positive facing stress are equal minus 0.4415, and the expression various type of the coping strategy are equal minus 0.567. In contrast, negative coping styles were positively concurrent relationship with the job burnout. And I used the multiple line regions analysis. The key finding indicates that clinical department, educational background, marital status, average month's income from the online nursing service provided over the past 3 months, and the coping styles significantly influence job burnout. Explain the 36.7% of the variant. variance. Conclusion: job burnout among these nurses is relatively mild. The analysis identified so demography and the job practice as influence factors of the job burnout, including the clinical department, education background, and the marital status, average monthly income from the online. I think in the future, the internet plus nursing service will contribute significantly to public health in China, and the nurse staff are essential to this effect. Ensure their physical and mental well-being is vital for the stabilize the nursing team and promoting the sustained development of the internet plus nursing service. Thank you. This is my representation. Thank you for your listening.
Thank you, Yanan, for sharing wonderful presentation with us. So let's move ahead. So our next presenter, Hongyu Chan, Turkish department, Shanghai International Studies University, China, and topic is the pedagogical application of artificial intelligence of Turkish scheme reading for higher education classroom in China. Please, Hongyu Chan, unmute yourself and please share your screen.
I'm trying to. Which one? But you can hear me loud and clear, right?
Yes.
Not this one. Yes. Yes. So you can see my sharing, right? Yes, no, yes, hello. Yes.
Yes, we can see.
Yes.
Yes. So my topic is focused on how to use artificial intelligence to teach skin reading of Turkish for Chinese university students. So as we know that language disciplines these days facing a sort of a big challenge posed by the artificial intelligence. Many people say that, oh, with the creation or the publication or the prevalence of artificial intelligence, there's no need anymore to learn languages even. Not only that you don't need to learn English or many other languages that well, sort of. But I'm here to argue that there's still need to sort of learn the language very well, and then also there's a way that you can use the artificial intelligence platform as a tool, not just some sort of a substitute for teachers. So my case is focused on DeepSeek, the Chinese artificial intelligence platform, and sort of do a sort of a inter or multidisciplinary method or sort of practical experimenting with in the classroom, and how do you actually carry out this teaching or sort of the teaching activity. So I mean, the article itself is in Chinese, but I will present with specific cases and also some of the screenshots within the article. So I use in here an original Turkish sentence. It is very long. Sometimes it is for whatever language, it is very common that when you don't have that much of a good language base, or you don't have that higher level of the language, so you would face difficulties while trying to understand a long sentence, especially with multiple participles and also multiple layers of meanings. So I use this sentence as an example and try to analyze using different methods in linguistics. And then by trying to introduce students many different ways of linguistics, syntactical or professionally as a terminology, syntactical analysis for the sentence, and then try to give to help them understand the sentence while trying to give some very basic linguistics knowledge. So the first method that I'm trying to explain is to, like in English, you try to minimize or subtract the whole sentence as trying to find the subject, object, and verb. And because unlike English and also many other languages, including Chinese, we usually put the subject in the first place, and then also we put and then we put the verb, and then eventually we put the object. But unlike English and Chinese, Turkish put the verb in the end. So sometimes for students it is somewhat confusing that you have to reorganize the whole syntactical order in order to understand the whole sentence. So therefore, you have to try, first of all, understand what is the main participle, what is the the coordinates. So let's try the first using this screenshot. So I asked DeepSeek to reorganize the entire sentence in the order of subject, verb, and object. So before we do this, we ask students to organize or reorganize or paraphrase the entire sentence into who did what, or who did something to whom, so to speak. And then by having this very shortened version of the original long sentence, you can try to see how well the students are understanding this sentence. If the students say something like trying to here, for example, the government is welcoming. Is welcoming whom? It doesn't say. Then it means something is missing. Or the apple is flying. It doesn't mean anything in actual sentence meaning transfer. It is not logical. Therefore, there must be something wrong with the understanding. And then therefore you can reorganize your understanding, or finding of or locating labeling with what is the subject, what is the verb, what is the object. So this is the very very basic or less of a specialized linguistics analysis, syntactical analysis. So with this original sentence, you can get the rigorous language is being used. So this gives us a sense of what this sentence generally means. So you would understand what is the author trying to say. So with the second method of analyzing the syntax, you try to find who modifies whom, so to speak. So in this case, you would again ask the students to sort of determine whom modifies whom in a very in the beginning starting with very small units, such as you would, if you at least know some of the vocabulary, you would find out that, of course, insulting is an adjective modifying content. So insulting content, it forms a sort of adjectival phrase. And then with this phrase, it then modifies expression. So altogether, it gives you the insulting content included phrase. So then it makes sort of a noun phrase, as shown in here, hakaret, as in insulting, içerikli, meaning content. So altogether, with this arrow, you would give the sort of direction that you should look at. Whom determines who modifies whom. So hakaret modifies içerikli. So eventually, the entire phrase of hakaret, içerikli, and ifadeler, this entire phrase, the center, or the core of this phrase is ifadeler, meaning expressions. Yeah. So expression being the core of the phrase then connects with other parts of the sentence. And you can see in here, in this diagram, that you have other parts of the sentence, such as kurum, organization, and temsilcilerine, meaning representatives. And with these two, you can see that they are connected with ve. Ve being a sort of a word for connection, meaning and. So you can see in here that the sort of the dotted arrows are for sort of a parallel constituents of the sentence. It doesn't give you whom modifies whom, because it is parallel. And then with the same theory, you would find kamu görevi gives you kamu görevi. This sort of a two-worded phrase gives you a new phrase, a new two-worded phrase is formed here. So the center or the core of this sort of very small phrase is görevi, sort of the public job, public position. And then if you then plus yapan, doing or doer, as we say adverbial sort of, well, adverb sort of in sort of speech. And then with kurum, you would have an organization that does public service. So this is your new phrase, and you can clearly see from this diagram that you have this core of the phrase, as in kurum. So then, in this way, you can see the relationship between all constituents in this sentence. Who modifies whom, and then who to whom with whom is parallel. And then sort of, if I don't understand one of them, at least I can understand the other. For example, if you don't understand what is temsilcilerine, so you can sort of guess or sort of make an assumption on what this word means. So with this, you can then go on or jump over to continue with the rest of the sentence. And then eventually, because when parallel constituents sometimes are synonyms, such as hakim ve savcı, means judges and sort of the persecutors. So you can also see here the sort of police force and then also the security force. They are also synonyms. And then eventually you would have a very clear structure regarding how should you sort of, if we refer to the first methodology, what is, so in this sentence you will clearly see what is important, which of these words in this sentence are important for me to understand. Which of these words in this sentence are something that I should understand in order to grasp the general meaning of this sentence? Some of the words, if I don't understand, okay, maybe I will make a jump. Well, I'll jump to the next one, and then maybe I won't paranoid during the exam. So this is the sort of what we say relationship diagram, constituents relationship diagram made on DeepSeek. So before you draw this diagram on an artificial intelligence platform, you draw this diagram on the blackboard with students to sort of test how well do students understand, or sort of have a discussion, brainstorming. And then eventually, of course, use artificial intelligence to sort of verify these assumptions. So this is also a way sort of teaching students how to use a more sort of scientific perspective into what we know as the sort of liberal art perspective of language learning. So you have a theory and then you test it. And also it gives a way to linguistic studies and also future, maybe even large language modeling. So this is the second sort of method of exploring how to use artificial intelligence to teach syntactic structures. So the third method in here is more specialized in linguistics. Of course, for the more advanced learned students who have made better achievement in learning Turkish, of course, this is only, I may only speak of Turkish learning, but also I think there's some sort of common characteristics with other language learnings. So we can look at this diagram as well. We see here not only that you give relationship analysis between different constituents in the sentence, but also you can see the sort of descriptions or labeling the nature of different constituents or phrases in a sentence. So you would also, beyond the functioning of the word, also nature, sort of phrase nature, you would clearly see in here. For example, when you have this structure, this method to analyze a sentence, you will start with a sentence from the top to bottom. You would first of all assume that the most basic considered or structure of a sentence, I would say, for example, if we use English as an example, we say I eat. So you have a noun and a verb. So same here in Turkish. So you have a verb. So we mark here as VP, verbal phrase. And also we will have a sort of adverbial phrase. This sort of gives a sort of nature of the basic structure of a sentence. So you basically would like to separate adverbial phrase or word or adjectives or adjective phrases out of the sentence. So you would have ayrıca, or meaning beside, out of the sentence. So you have verb phrase left, and then out of the verb phrase, you would then separate, like what we did, postpositional phrases, and then also other noun phrases or verbal phrases, and you will probably also have one or two or more verbs or verbal phrases. And then out of the postpositional phrases, you would separate the real postposition and the sort of the noun phrases from here. So eventually, like what we had in the second method, although the third one is more specialized, but then and also the second one is more sort of friendlier to universally to all sort of level of students. But then the third and the second have some common characteristics. So, but then it is more suitable for the advanced learner students, while combining sort of the more sort of specialized or combining the sort of word nature or phrasal nature of analysis of in the sentence. So the third one is sort of still more sort of diagram involved analysis. So the fourth one is a little bit different, but then also based on the same theory as the third one. The sort of advantage of doing the fourth one is you can sort of do this based on the original, well, whatever material that you're looking at. For example, if you're already reading the article on a piece of paper or the reading the article, you don't have to do the diagram. You don't have to find extra space. Let's say during the exam, you can just do it between the lines. So similarly, you will have a sentence as represented as an S, and then you would separate different NP as in noun phrases and adverbial phrases and then verbs and in the same theory. But of course, the disadvantage of doing this analysis is also very clear. Eventually, you will be easily confused by all these brackets. So this is the disadvantage of this sort of analysis. But ultimately, I would say that by doing the second method, it is the most friendly method, because it's not only that you would have a clear structure of the sentence, also you would have a clear relationship demonstrated on this diagram. So eventually, after we did this sort of syntactical analysis, and then because we did this syntactical analysis, you would find there's no need to panic over some vocabularies that you don't know when you're reading, maybe. And also because you have better understanding with the sentences and also with the sort of core sentences within a paragraph, you would find that the general meaning of a paragraph, not only a paragraph or the part or the entire sort of text, is better understood. So then you would be able to grasp or sort of use the information within the text better. So then, because what we read for research or for general daily life, ultimately we usually would like to output or sort of write something, to express something based on what we read, what information that we got. So apart from the sort of syntactical analysis, you can understand some of the word better based on the context that you grasp better, and then also you can translate properly or sort of refer or paraphrase the sentences better. And then this sort of the second part of this method, well, of combining artificial intelligence platform to teach students about skim reading, is that you then write based on what you read. So basically what you can do is to ask students what are some of the details that you can grasp in order to sort of form your own opinion. For example, if you read a poem, what are some of the words that you can see? For example, if a poem is about freedom, then maybe a flying bird can sort of it gives you a hint about maybe the author is talking about freedom. So if you see the author writing about the moon, maybe he or she is talking about missing hometown or the old motherland. So sort of you can sort of summarize based on what you some of the keywords that you read, and while reading you can sort of summarize within your writing, and then after you write you then similarly ask the artificial intelligence platform to do the same thing as you did, to summarize, to give you an information on what you can get out of this text, and then you compare with what you wrote, and then sort of while comparing you sort of not compare to the past, you are sort of students discuss, and then teacher gives teacher's opinion with the students, or share teacher's opinion with the students. But then sometimes it feels like the teacher's opinion seems more correct, or sort of is a more believable, or sort of more scientific or right or better answer. But then with the involvement of artificial intelligence, it feels like more a third party opinion. So then what you can conclude out of the three parties, students, teachers, and then artificial intelligence, you can come up with a better answer, or better opinion, or more objective opinion out of the students' sort of conclusion or learned result. So this is what I got out of this practical research of my study. Okay, that's about it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Hongyu-chan. You explained everything so smartly, and that was an amazing presentation. But make sure we only published abstract or full paper in English language. So
Okay.
please, you send your full paper in English language so we can publish. That was an amazing presentation. Thank you. So now I'm sharing my screen. That yes. So thank you everyone. With great pleasure and enthusiasm, I would like to conclude that the conference was a great success. Many people have contributed in different ways to turn his events into a smoothly running conference with very interesting presentation. This conference has resulted in good discussion and networking. We face a technical issue, but thank you all of you for staying connected. Thank you everyone for joining us today. So here, upcoming conferences. Eurasia Research conducts conferences around the world. Here are some upcoming conference. January 2026, Ho Chi Minh, and February 2026, Dubai. March 2026, Singapore and Melbourne. So please, you can refer these conferences to your friends and colleagues. Please feel free to share your feedbacks. Really face many technical issue, but thank you all of you for staying connected. Is there anything? Do you want to share your feedback? Thank you so much, everyone. So you may leave conference, and I hope to see you again, all of you. So dear participants, do you want to share feedback?